Hello everybody, it's Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my pick a card video. So I ran a little online poll and the winner was love after lockdown. So this is your love life when lockdown has ended wherever you are and you're allowed to roam freely. So it doesn't matter whether you're single or you're in a relationship, you're just going to need to adapt what I say to your particular situation. So I've set out 4 piles, as you can see. We have the garden pile, which is number 1. We have the key pile, which is number 2. The anchor for number 3. And the road for number 4. So I want you to sit there, relax, take a few deep breaths, focus on your love life or your lack of it. Feel open and ready for the truth. And then when you are ready, ask your question. What will my love life be like after lockdown ends? Then when you feel ready, make your choice. If you need a bit more time, then please go ahead and press pause. And then when you are ready, click one of the timestamps provided and I shall see you at your reading. Okay, those of you that chose number 1, the garden, this is your reading. So I've just set out some romance angel oracle cards and an angel answers oracle, and we'll use whatever is said in these cards as our jumping point for me shuffling the other cards. And I've also got my charms, as you can hear. So let's see, your love life after lockdown. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. And perfect timing. Okay, so I think so far just from these cards that whatever situation you're in, this feels to me like more of a relationship. So if you are in a relationship, the lockdown has revealed the deceptions that you are both putting yourselves under. That you perhaps now see each other, or you see your partner as they really are for the first time. And it's possibly revealed or exposed a codependency you have between the two of you that you perhaps are unhappy with. And this has all happened at the perfect timing in the relationship for you. That you have discovered that this relationship is probably not very healthy, that you've perhaps been in a relationship with them, not under false pretenses, but you didn't you sort of fell in love with your idea of them rather than who they really were. But now you know. Now you know. And I think that for some of you, yeah, this person's possibly addicted to something, and you could be addicted to each other. And so I think in love after lockdown, you're going to have a much clearer idea of who your partner really is, exactly how you depend on each other, and where the unhealthy aspects in this relationship are. And with perfect timing, you're going to be able to deal with them. For those of you that are completely single and you're hopeful that I was going to reveal that you were going to meet someone wonderful, I think what you're going to have to address when lockdown ends and you're free to go out and meet someone new is that you have to deal with that maybe you're not showing your real self to other people, that you're not attracting people because or attracting the right people because you're not really showing who you really are. And I think that you're addicted to meeting a certain type of person, or you're addicted, or you've got an unhealthy attachment to dating a certain look, a certain type of personality that's actually no good for you. And in fact, they're not really compatible. They're compatible with the person that you're pretending to be. And this lockdown has been perfectly timed. You know, it's really done you good, this time away, because it's allowed you to analyse what you've been doing. I think probably you've had time alone. More time alone than you've had for a very long time, or if ever. And it's forced you to address all your deceptions, where you've lied to yourself, where you've created a boundary around yourself, created a barrier, and you've not been able to meet anyone because really you've been keeping them out. You sort of, I have my personal space circle, I have my no square, and you are not letting them in. And this time away has revealed that to you. And so when lockdown ends, these energies are sort of still there, but you've got to really address them, because you could quite easily slip back into this energy. And there's a high likelihood that actually for a lot of you, you're going to fall back into putting your mask back on. If you've been on your own during lockdown and you've just been, you know, like me, going around unshaven legs, no makeup on, and for the gentlemen that are watching, you know, you haven't shaved your legs either, and you haven't shaved your beards, and you're just sort of, you know, not putting any effort into meeting anyone. You've sort of allowed the real you to come forward because there's only you there. But when you come back out, you're going to put the mask back on. And you can't do that. You can't do that anymore. This is why you're not finding love. And this is why you're going to continue to not find love, true love, your soulmate, your twin flame, your future spouse, whoever it is that you're really trying to attract to you. You're not going to meet them because you've got this self-deception going on, and that there's something in your romantic life that you're clinging to. So it's like the failure of a previous relationship. Maybe you were really in love with someone and they've really hurt you, and they've almost destroyed your faith in other people and in your potential to love other people, or for other people to love you, hence the need for the mask. But there is someone out there for you to love, who will love the real you, who is not interested in the mask, but only the person underneath the mask. And this is all with perfect timing, and you've got great timing. If you're really looking to meet someone, let go of the mask, let go of the addiction, the thing that you've been clinging to that's really inhibiting your love life. Let it go. And with really perfect timing, you're going to meet someone. It's just such a positive message. Those of you in a relationship, you're really going to get the chance to make this a much healthier relationship. Some of you might decide to end your relationship, but that in itself, it isn't a bad thing to end a toxic relationship, a relationship that doesn't work, that isn't going to work ever, and that in fact is preventing happiness. It's never a bad thing to end that relationship ever. But others of you that actually have the potential for a really healthy and solid relationship with your person, you're going to be able to make it healthier. So what I'm thinking now is what I'm going to do is divide it up to those in relationships and those that are single. So I'm going to do relationships first because I started off with people in relationships. And what I'm going to do is a few more tarot cards on your love life post-lockdowns, basically. I sort of want to look at, I want to give you encouragement to let go of the mask and the codependency. So I'm going to say, if you do the work, what's your love life going to be like post-lockdown? If you start now, the moment you're watching this video, to deal with the mask and the codependency, what's your reward? Oh, the Magician. Beautiful. Eight of Swords. Ten of Chalices. Beautiful. I was going to do this Russian, but actually I'm feeling now that I can give a message for those that are single as well. I'll still do you a single person's reading. Because I want to see if I can find someone for you to meet. For you to try and attract to yourself. Because I feel actually for both... Sorry, I elbowed my camera, the tripod. The Magician. It's such a positive, beautiful card. It's you being in control of yourself, in control and manifesting. It's about using everything at your disposal to get what you want. But also, the Magician manifests out of nothing. Doesn't have to have anything. It's a magician pulls the rabbit out of the hat. You know, there was just a hat and then suddenly there's a rabbit in the hat. Woo! And I think that what it's saying for you in a relationship, that you and your person can make this relationship whatever you want it to be. You can manifest the true love connection that you want, that you can manifest the bond, you can manifest the truth and the sort of freeing independence, the healthy dependence, not the codependence, but the healthy reliance upon each other in a committed relationship where you give and receive, and they give and they receive. You can make something good out of this relationship. If you're completely single, if you put this effort in, you can manifest the person that you want. You can start attracting the sort of person that you deep down would like to meet, or the person that actually is really compatible with you, or your soulmate, or your twin flame, or your future spouse. Whatever it is that you're looking for, you can attract them to you. You can manifest them into your life. You can start to understand who it is you're really looking for. And once you start doing this work in your relationship, your bond will deepen. And I think this is a bond where, like, if your sex life has suffered, you'll be able to reconnect. But it's also about learning greater depth within the relationship through your intimacy together. And that can include sexual intimacy for those of you that can have sex and are having sex with your partner. It's about not being afraid to let them in. And like I said, I felt that there's been a bit of a shield. And I think, again, the same for the single people. You'll be able to trust to let someone in and sort of trust the process and trust that you can learn from this. And the Ten of Chalices, it's the happy family, it's the happy couple. They're abundant, they're together, and they're not afraid of having some time apart. By that means that she's not worried. She's saying, goodbye, darling, you go off and enjoy your walk. I'm just going to eat these figs. There's trust there. There's intimacy and trust and faith in each other. And because there's that comfort and love for each other and desire for each other to do well, when she needs to sit down on the chaise longue in the sun, in the sunny garden, and eat figs and, you know, drink nice wine, drink rosé, she can trust that when he goes off to have a walk, to go to work, ride a horse, do whatever in this fantastical world on these cards, that he will just go off and do what he says and then come back. That she doesn't need to doubt him and he doesn't need to doubt her, that she's waiting for a secret lover, and she doesn't need to worry that he's going off riding with a secret lover. It's a trusting, loving relationship with commitment and happiness within each other and the relationship. And I think if you're single, this is on offer for you. This is what you can find because you have faith in yourself and faith in this other person. So I want to look for those, this is for the single people. I'll leave those cards there. I want to look for who you could possibly meet. And I'm going to do your charms to get extra information on maybe places and whatnot. Ooh. So we've got the Queen of Wands. The Moon, that's beautiful. Six of Pentacles, beautiful. So, single people. I mean, if you're in a relationship, you can carry on listening and see what you can garner from this. But this is for the single people. Who could you meet? They're a Queen of Wands type person. And it doesn't matter if you're looking for a gentleman. It's still the same. They're vibrant, warm, very warm-hearted. They care about other people, but they're the life and soul of the party. This is a fun person. They're an extrovert, not an introvert. You could meet them when you're going out to have fun. Probably because you've been in lockdown, you're desperate to meet your friends again, to get out and do things. So I think by getting out and doing things that you're most likely to meet this person. But they are absolutely, they're good looking, obviously. You're going to find them very attractive. And they're someone that takes care of their appearance. I think a lot of people are going to do that. It falls back to what I was saying earlier about how some of us have gone quite slovenly. And I think a lot of people are going to be breaking out the razors and getting their hair cut and you know, perhaps splashing out some new clothes. We're all going to want to make not a spectacle of ourselves. We're going to want to make the best of ourselves when we haven't been. So I think this is definitely a person that is going to catch your eye. They're playing the harp. She's playing the harp, so that attracts me to maybe something to do with music. Some of you might be going to a concert or listening to music, or there's music around where, you know, that you meet. But there's a serenity to her, but the Queen of Wands energy is absolutely somebody that garners attention. There's somebody that you notice, but they're very warm-hearted, very fun, like to have fun, and are a fun person to be around. And yeah, they're energetic, but they're also serene because they've got the moon, and that's a person with a lot of depth to them. There are mysteries around this person that you won't initially discover. They have a deep imagination and a deep understanding of their deeper selves. Deep. There's a lot of depth to them. This is somebody that can go deep within, into their inner selves, and find nourishment there. They can really access their subconscious. I feel this is the sort of person that you might have been dreaming about. Not necessarily literally, some of you might feel that way, but this is the sort of person that you've always dreamed you would meet, and you haven't because you've had the deception and the codependency, but now you've released them. They're free to come into your life. So I think they have sort of a dual nature in that they have two sides. They have the positive, vibrant side, but when you're both alone together and in their more private moments, I suspect they're very quiet and introspective and very creative, I think, for a lot of you, or very deep thinkers. They're not creative in an artistic sense. They might be creative in the way that they think, that they're they're an original thinker. And we have this Six of Pentacles. They're a very fair person, fair and balanced person, that they can... it's this giving and receiving that I was falling into, that you can give and receive. If for what you give to them, they will return in some way. You know, they'll give you what you need, and it's balanced in that what you have, they are deficient in, and what you're missing, they have. Does that feel about it? But this is a balanced... They're interested in having a balanced relationship, and therefore you will, because you also want a balanced relationship, I feel. So I think that when you put the effort in, you will meet someone really lovely. Let's look at the charms and see what they offer you. I think you're going to meet somebody that's actually quite unusual in many ways, but more importantly is quite unique. I think that's the way I'm trying to put it. They're very unique. Let's do your charms. Sorry about the noise. Right then. So this is for relationship people and singles. So, well, you've got two keys. That snowflake is unique. There's only one snowflake, you know, in the world. Okay, so diamond for me is something that's very tough and valuable. It's like a hard diamond. It's of great immense value, but quite sort of perceived as being quite rare. In fact, diamonds aren't rare, but there's something sparkling and unique about this person. They're very tough. And I think it doesn't speak to me about immense wealth. That's not what it's about. It's about saying their value is great. But also they're stronger than people think. And I'm feeling that because we've also got the child icon. Now, I'm not saying that they have... For some of you, they have a child. But this is something, they might be quite small. So, I mean, some of you are thinking, I don't want a tall man. You don't want a short man, you want a tall man. But I think they're quite youthful looking. They either look younger than they actually are, or they are younger than you. Yeah, this is looks like, it reminds me of Sword in the Stone. So this tells me about, like, only you can do it. There's this uniqueness. It's only you can do the work, but this is only something that you will be interested in doing. Again, there's that quiet lizard-like energy. You've got 3 hearts. The love's really there waiting for you. You just need to take the steps to make it happen. I'm trying to see where you could meet them. And the only thing I'm getting, that's the mountains and that's the sea. So whether you live inland, maybe there's a mountainous area, or whether you're by the seaside, it's something to do with that. But I think what the message is telling you both is if you're in a relationship, you need to build and work on the love, because there is success here in this relationship. And the gear speaks to me that there's something missing. And that also with the yarn, because I haven't got anything else about knitting. I've got several knitting charms in there, and when they're together, it speaks to me. But you haven't got the knitting needles there or anything that represents that. So you can't make anything from this yarn. So you haven't got the whole picture yet. So you're not quite ready for this person or to meet this person, or it's not quite set up yet that you'll both be in the same place at the same time. You absolutely need to cut out this codependency and this mask. I was thinking, would the mask turn up, but it hasn't. So I think maybe you're already starting to work on the mask. Ace of Cups. So there's a lot of love messages. There's real love in this relationship. I think the issue is that you now need to reveal your true selves. And you're not quite there yet, but you nearly are. There's still a few obstacles, but there's a new path to be trod. For those of you looking for love and that you're single, you're going to have to go somewhere where you've never been before to meet them. This is a new place. Or it's someone that you have no idea about. You don't know this person. You've never even heard their name. But only you can do this. Only you can do the work. Only you can do the nourishing. There's a lot of uniqueness. There's the capacity to renew from this and begin a new life. This is actually really positive. Initially, it doesn't look positive when you see those 3 cards, but actually it is. It's all there for you to seize, to take hold of. And whatever obstacles you have, you will overcome. You just need a little bit more information. So maybe it's just not, at the time of you watching this video, it's just not quite ready and set up for you to meet this person, or for them to meet you. It's not quite ready for you to make them, changes you need in this relationship. Maybe you have a bit more work left to do. So if there's anything that stands out there for your charms for you, take the meaning as best you can, because the lizard might mean something specific to you, but it just speaks to me that actually the work can be done, but it's not immediate, it's in the future. You're the only one that can do it, and you can't meet this person just yet. But you're tough enough, and they're tough enough. Everybody's tough enough to deal with what is happening. So I'm going to leave that there with you. That's your reading, those of you that chose number 1. If you want a private reading with me, you can get one on your love life, your relationship, anything. Just send me an email at oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. Have a look in the description box at the packages I offer, and I will get back to you the moment I see your email. And I look forward to hearing from you. So you all take very good care of yourself. Thank you for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay, those of you that chose number 2, the key, this is your reading. So what I've done is I've initially shuffled out 2 romance angel cards and an angel answer card, and based upon what's on here, I'm going to shuffle out some other cards and some charms. So let's start off. Your romance angels tell you, calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations and visualizations help to bring you together. Wonderful. engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. No need to worry. Oh, this is good. This is a lovely reading. Well, congratulations. So straight off, if you're single, yes, all your hard work to try and really manifest this person, to really attract the right person to you, is working. You're really working on yourself. You're really getting to the point where you're ready to have a great relationship with them, and you just carry on being yourself, carrying on working towards it. Whatever you're doing is the right thing. And I think that your love life is ascending to the higher level of commitment because you're getting to the point where you're ready to commit to them. Maybe you weren't ready before. You might have thought you were ready, but maybe you weren't actually in the right position. You weren't mature enough, or you weren't experienced enough, or whatever. Maybe you had other things to do but now you're ready. If you're in a relationship, I feel that this sort of lockdown has solidified what your feelings are. I think you realise that this is your soulmate and that you want to spend the rest of your life with them. You want to get engaged. So I think for a lot of you that are in a really good committed relationship, you are absolutely ready to settle down with them. And for both of you, you just got no need to worry. You have no need to worry. This might be a short reading. So, I think I'll do these cards next. We've got the Tarot of Sexual Magic next. Potential naughty images. And what we're going to look at is, again, your love life in lockdown, post-lockdown, after lockdown. Everything's back to normal. Could be getting engaged. Could be meeting your soulmate. What's the love life going to be like after lockdown? Nine of Wands. The Empress. Two of Chalices. You're going to be all loved up. You're going to be all loved up. You're going to be, whatever problems and issues you've had, maybe it's been stressful for you. If you're in a relationship, maybe you've been stressed out because you've been stuck together in the house, in the flat. You haven't really been able to go out and socialise and do your own thing. You sort of go out to work if you can and come back home. And that's it. You can't go to the cinema. You can't go and see a sports match. You can't go out for a meal. It's literally just the two of you. So I think whatever tensions have happened, you're going to get over them. You're going to be able to communicate with each other, and you're going to talk until it's sorted out. And the Empress, I think you're really coming into your power in this relationship, that you're really going to make something of it. There's going to be a seed sown. It's about seizing all opportunities and being fruitful. For some of you, yeah, you might have a kid, you might get pregnant if that's what you want, if that's what you're capable of, so bear that in mind. If you're not ready to start a family, take precautions against it. But you're certainly now, like, moving to this next level of commitment. You're starting to build your life together, and you're starting to be abundant. And I think it's abundant in love, but also in everything else, because you feel so in love and you feel so compatible and committed. You've got that security, and it's allowing you to be fruitful and attract loads of abundance towards yourself, and to manifest it, and to create it yourself. And the Two of Cups, really, does it need explanation? You're just going to be on the same level, on the same page. You're just going to be compatible. Whatever this lockdown, I think, has been good for you in your relationship. So be grateful for that, and seize all the opportunities it delivers you and move with it, because you're going to have something wonderful. If you're single, I think you're going to make a connection with somebody that you feel really close to. And that doesn't mean physically or sexually close, at least not initially, if you're not comfortable with that. But what it's saying is that you're going to feel really close to someone that you can really talk to. We'll look afterwards into the charms and see what's going to happen there. But this Empress energy, you're so abundant and so fruitful and so positive because you've been working so hard on yourself, and you're really calling in your soulmate, that you're just going to attract this love, and you are going to meet somebody that's really compatible for you, that you're both on the same page, you both are attracted to each other, you both are able to share a drink, to share that cup of love with each other, and to be close. I think you're going to meet somebody that you're going to be quite emotionally close to quite quickly. So for those of you that are single, I wanted to do a shuffle to see who you could meet. I'll just do that quickly, and then we'll move on to charms. And both if you're in a relationship, you can enjoy the charms as well. Ooh, the Magician. The Lovers. Two of Pentacles. So, this person is very talented. They can really pull it out of nowhere. They can focus on something and make it grow and big. And it's also, unlike the Empress, the Empress is like, you give her a seed, she'll plant it in the ground, she'll get a beautiful crop, and you'll have the bounty of the Earth Mother. If you give her sperm meets the egg, she'll gestate a child and become a mother and deliver a baby. It can be also, if you give her an idea, she can take that. If you give her an idea for a novel, she can go ahead and write the novel. If you give her an idea of a painting, she can go ahead and paint it. You know what I mean? She will make something, but you usually give it her first. It's sort of in combination with something else. She allows it to mature and nurtures it. It's her own contribution as well, but she needs something else there. The Magician needs nothing. They're the sort of person that says, right, you know, I'm going to decide to do this, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know where I'm going to start, but I am going to do it. And then all of a sudden you find out that they've started their business, they've seen an opportunity that no one else has had, and they absolutely make something out of nothing. But where did you get that from? The Magician to me is always that sort of person that just is so lucky. They just attract so much luck to themselves. Even when times are tough for them, they like have every faith in their own abilities to make something happen, and it does. And then they're the person that just, you know, oh, I need a new job, and suddenly the opportunity of a brand new job comes seemingly from nowhere. They work very hard towards it. They're a very hard worker, but they come across as really lucky, and that's somebody that just makes things happen in their life. So they're quite like you, I would say, calling in your soulmate. They're your perfect mate, shall we say. You're just great for each other. You know, that I think they're also looking for their other half, and I think that's probably why it's all sort of the timing's right. Is because you're both looking for someone like you at the same time, and you're going to be able to meet each other. And there's somebody that's decisive, they can make choices. But they're also, it's weird because at times they come across as indecisive. I think there's somebody that has a lot of interest and they hop from one thing to another. I think they're very talented, this person. I think they can actually do many things in their life. And do some of them and not others, but they deep down want to do all of them, but they can't, so they have to make choices. But they're a very loving person. I think they're a great multitasker, and all I can say is they're just perfect for you. They're just your other half. They are your soulmate. So let's do the charms, because I can't really say any more than they're just perfect for you. Let's put it here while I shuffle them. Where can you meet this person? What else do the relationship people need to know about their relationship? Oh, pulled out quite a few. Let's see. Okay, we've got some sea imagery here. So if you live by the sea, or you would like to go, you can go to the seaside. Do that. Ooh! So we've got the yarn and the knitting, which says that everything's in place. That's why it's don't worry. So everything could already be in place for you to meet. You might have already arranged to be at a certain place at a certain time, and they are going to be there. Wings of love. Love's in flight. It's love happening. I tend to get the spoon a lot because it's so big. Got 2 keys. Everything's successful. Oh, a sweet treat. So this is something that you're doing for fun. Probably because it's been in lockdown. You haven't done anything. Been anywhere. So those of you in a relationship, you're going to be doing something that's sweet and that's fun and you enjoy. It's just a wonderful treat. And I think that this could be where the engagement happens. And it's sneaky. They're not letting, I mean, you've got an idea. I mean, I've just spoiled the surprise for you really, but you don't know that it's going to be happening. Something unique. I think this person that you're going to meet is very unique. They're very unusual. I don't think there's many people like them. There's still some things that need to be put into play. I know everything's sort of in there, but I'm feeling that we've just got to allow time to go on, the gears to grind. You've got to wait for lockdown. Nothing's going to happen until lockdown's over, either for this engagement or meeting this person. We've got the dog and the bone, again, a complete package. Everything, I think, I want to say that the engagement has been set up. You've just got to wait for you to get this treat, to get this delicious thing, or to for the lockdown to, you know, COVID to take course. It's just got to happen. And I think it's the same with your person. I think you've already arranged to be at the seaside or something, or you've already planned that when lockdown ends you're going to travel to this particular place. It might, if you live inland and you're not anywhere near the sea and it's like several hours journey, it's water, so it could be you know, like in Birmingham, canals, or rivers, or something where there's like a body of water that you can visit and go to. Maybe you'll take your dog. Yeah, there's only you can... It's all about soulmates. There's only you, only them. But you just got to wait for something to take place. This is long term. For both of you, singles and in a relationship, these connections have the potential to last for the rest of your life. It's oak trees. It's about stability and longevity. And family tree. Trying to make up, see what patterns I see. There's definitely a feeling here of travelling. So I don't think that you're going to meet them on your own doorstep. You might meet them on their doorstep, but I don't think it's going to be on your doorstep. I think you're going to travel to be around them. Gift of flowers. Sweet and tender, and the lily. There's a purity here. Purity of intention. It's all very pure and good. I can't explain it. It's just wonderful and lovely and positive. You don't have anything to worry about. You're going to meet your true love, your soulmate, whatever, or the person you will marry. And your person, I think you've good chance you're going to get married. I mean, you might be the one that wants to propose to them. Ringing, it's got a heart on it, it's like a bell, so it's like ringing the bell of love, you know, ding, ding, ding. So I think for some of you, you know, when you meet this person, it's like, I want to say love at first sight, but if you don't believe in such a thing, it's a sense of, you know, that this is the right person for you, that there's something here with this person. And I think they're unique and like a gift to you. And this like love takes flight. I think it's just, your heart will just soar to be with this person. And I think there's a sense of impatience. It's the kettle's waiting to boil, but it's just not boiling yet. It's not whistling yet, but soon it will. Things have to take, you're just going to have to wait for lockdown to end. And then I think within a shorter period of time of lockdown ending, I'm not saying like the day after, but within a short period of time, maybe within a month, you'll make the decision to go somewhere, or it'll be time to have a meet up with people. And or you're just going to think, well, I'm going to go to that beauty spot where there's lots of water, and I think you'll just meet them. Or you'll make the decision that you're going to get married there. This is beautiful. But I think something's being held back, and that's just not to spoil the surprise. So there's the charms. You pause and have a look if you want. But it all sounds brilliant to me. Don't you dare worry about your love life after lockdown. So you take very good care of yourself. Oh, I haven't said, if you want a private reading with me, you can get one. Whether it's on your love life or something else. All the information, my different packages are in the description box. And so just make your choice. Send me an email to oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com with what reading you want. And I will get back to you and we will go from there. I look forward to hearing from you. So now you take very good care of yourself. Thank you for listening to me and goodbye. Okay, those of you that chose number 3, the anchor, this is your reading. What's your love life going to be like after lockdown? So I've shuffled out just 2 romance angels and then an angel answers. And based upon what these say, we will then shuffle some more cards. And I've got my charms as well today. So let's see. True love. This is the romance of a lifetime. Oops, make sure. Got space for the other cards. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. So I don't think either of you will want lockdown to end. Compromise. Oh, that's interesting. So I think, right, so it's like obviously relationships and singles. So in a relationship, yeah, this is like it could be, well, the big love of your life, or at least one that's going to really leave a lasting impact on you. And I think that you're, even in post-lockdown world, your country opens up again. I don't think you will be. I think you'll carry on actually enjoying time alone. I don't think that you're actually going to be rushing to get out, to socialise with lots of people. I think you're going to be happy together, excuse me, because you're completely enamoured of each other and you're feeling that this is just a big love affair. I think you don't want this quiet, weird time of disconnection from the world to end. I think you're going to prolong it. The compromise, I mean, that's a good piece of advice quite a lot of the time. Sometimes, you know, you do need to compromise to make things go forward. So I think that's actually a specific message for some of you, is that in some area you need to compromise on this relationship. So maybe if your partner's desperate to get out, then to perhaps go out with them sometimes, but then let them compromise with you to stay in some of the time. Or vice versa, if you really, really want to get out, you know, you've had enough, you're ready to get out into the world. Explain to them and say, look, I'm happy to carry on staying in quite a lot, but we do need to get out a couple of evenings a week. Along those lines, whatever the compromise needs to be. If you're completely single, you have the potential to meet your true love, quite simply. I think this love is something you're not going to let everybody know about. I think you're going to keep it a bit of a secret. Whether that's because you're just a private person, or whether you just want to get to know them before you let everybody know that you've been dating someone, or before you introduce them to all your family and friends. You know, you just maybe want to, you know, this could be an online relationship as well, with the, you know, the sense of retreat, disconnect from the world, is that it's alive in the online world and not in the real world. So yeah, I get the feeling that you're really going to get the chance to meet somebody, but at least initially, maybe for the first couple of months, maybe month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever's comfortable for you. I don't think you're going to be massively letting on that you've met someone. I think you're going to be getting to know them yourself. And again, there's just this sense here of compromise, and I've been doing each reading, so you know, I had a rough idea what I'd do, but I wanted to sort of be led by what the cards said and what the questions were raised about it. And so I've got to ask, what's the compromise? What, you know, can I have clarification on compromise, please? Eight of Swords, yeah. King of Wands, 10 of Wands. Okay, so it is about carrying on this lockdown energy. It's carrying on the lockdown. There's this feeling here that somebody's stifled, that somebody wants to get out and be alive and do things. And the other person's like, the pandemic's probably not over, we've got a second wave, which is highly likely for, some countries. One of you is really outgoing and vibrant and wants to be seen out, so if this is a new love, one of you or they will want to keep this quiet because I get this feeling there's been failed relationships in the past, maybe on your part, it could be for them. But the person who wants to keep this quiet has had a few failures in the past in relationships. Maybe they've come out far too soon and introduced their new partner too quickly before they've, got to know them properly. Even if you've been on several dates with them, you didn't really necessarily know them, or it just didn't. You did know them, and it just didn't pan out. And so I think there's this feeling that this person doesn't want the hurt of meeting someone, introducing them, and having to say, "Oh, we split up." So they just don't want the pain of it. Really, there's pain associated with revealing love. In the simplest sense, and that's why. But there needs to be compromise. Because you don't want to be someone's secret and they don't deserve to be your secret. There needs to be compromise where at least you say, well, I've met somebody, but we're just going to get to know each other a bit first before we introduce each other to each other's families, or friends, or start dating out in that way. Because I really feel that the person's been stung too many times. Like, you've just been stung too many times. So you don't want to blow it, really, because I think you really like this person. We'll look at that, who this person is, but I think there's a real like here. Because somebody's really vibrant and positive. They're the King of Wands. They're in their full power. They're energetic and lively. They're passionate. They're warm-hearted and capable. They're giving. And they're exciting, and it's like the Queen of Wands. They garner other people's attention. So they're going to be really attractive, and other people are going to desire them. But this situation's a burden, and I think this falls back on the idea that this retreat, that you need to compromise, because if this is your partner, it's a burden on them to stay in so much. So you need to compromise and go out with them despite your fears, or they need to come out with you because you need to get out. It's a burden for you to be stuck in with just them, or you and the kids, all of you as a family. You need to be getting out and socialising as much as you can while still following the rules. But that's it. It's an emotional burden, and that's the compromise. So I want to look at more at the future of your love life. So this is like if you meet meeting someone, potentially what this relationship will be like with this person, and what your relationship will be like afterwards if you're already with this person. So we've got the Knight of Chalices, Ace of Chalices, Death. Okay, so there's a lot of love in this connection. So if this is your relationship, there's a lot of love and affection here already. We've got the Knight of Chalices. I think, again, there's this falling back on the Eight of Swords energy with the Knight of Chalices, in that I think, let's do the singles first. You're going to meet this person somehow. We'll look at that with the charms. And there's a demure side to this person. So if you feel quite shy in yourself, you're a bit intimidated by this person. They seem, like the White Knight on the Charger. It's just like and you feel a bit exposed and sort of vulnerable to them. Because I think there's a recognition that this is really romantic. This could be really important, the romance of a lifetime. And, for the Knight energy, they're really offering love to you, or you're really offering love to them, and they're really shy and demure. Maybe they're not as romantically experienced as you are, or you are less romantically or relationally relationshiply. You are less experienced in relationships than they are. But there's this feeling like, oh, you know, it's a bit full on, or it's a bit like, oh, they really like me, they're really coming on to me. It's a bit of a surprise, which actually makes sense if there's been a lot of lockdown. And this new person, this new relationship is very loving. It's the Ace of Chalices. This is the beginning of new love. It's nurturing. It's a devoted one. It's one with the desires to offer as much love as possible, but also to take care of. And as I say, nurture and tend and just enhance the life of. So it's very loving. I think it's going to be one of those sort of instant love connections where you're just both brimming over for love for each other and affection and desire, which is nice. Death. I'm trying to put how to do this, is that because it's a contradictory image. This is like the Ace of Chalices. It's all about, they're obviously going away, they're having wonderful passionate love, they're making love to each other in the bed. This is about abstinence. So I think actually this is a relationship where there's an immediate connection and an immediate desire, and for some of you, you might sleep with this person quite early on if that's what you're like. If you're like, no, I'm not that type of person, that's fine. You won't, because you might want to, but then your natural inclination in your personality will kick in. And the Death card is about abstinence, fun, makes the heart grow fonder, absence does. But this is about saying that you're not really getting any sex, so then when you do get it, it's wonderful. So I think there's as much as there's desire there, and I think one or other of you would really like to have sex with the other person. One of you's sort of, no, actually, I'm not putting out really quickly. This is really important. This isn't going to be just a flash in the pan, I think, Or I'm not that kind of girl, or I'm not that kind of boy. And that will only make the final union better. And I think this is going to be a relationship where you both wait. Some of you are just going to go ahead and do it, and then you're going to find there's a big gap where you can't meet up again. And you don't get any more sex for a while. Maybe, for whatever reason, we'll look into that. Maybe they live at a distance to you, or maybe there is another lockdown, who knows. I mean, we've been warned that maybe there's a second one, if there has to be. But for those of you that are like, no, I'm not going to do that with somebody straight off, there's going to be a period where I think you really get to know each other. There's this sense of retreat and get to know each other before you engage in any level of intimacy. But this seems to me a very loving relationship. And especially if there's a sense that you're quite shy, you're not going to sleep with someone straight off, are you? It's not the kind of person that you are. So let's see. I didn't do the relationship. If you're in a relationship, what's your relationship going to be post-lockdown? There's still a lot of romance there. I think there's going to be, weirdly, finding out a change in your relationship. Like our relationship was like this before we all was locked down for a couple of months, and then our relationship was like this afterwards. It's different, and I think you're going to navigate your way through this relationship differently. You've both perhaps different people because of this, but you're still going to love each other very much. And I think actually for you in terms of a relationship, it's not talking about lack of sex, which I felt it was for the single people just meeting this person. I think actually for you, what the Death is representing is back to this feeling that you're not always going to be out in the world, that there's going to be a lot of seclusion, and that as much as you're staying in, you're going to be really looking forward to being able to get out. So the times that you do get out of the house, because you've compromised for this person that needs to get out, that you're going to value the time together ever more. That when you can get back in and behind those locked doors, you're going to feel really, really pleased and really value it, and get an awful lot more out of it than you have when you've been forced to be locked down. So let's see what other information there is, and see if we can get any information of how the singles are going to meet their person. Okay then, so I've got keys for all of the readings so far and that spoon, but I don't know whether it's because they're just too big. Oh, and we've got this one for everyone. So love takes flight, love soaring. So we've got the lock and the keys. So the answer's there, the solution's there. Yes, the tiger. I get this with the Knight of the Cups, that you or they are going to immediately go, you. I want you. I'm going to go and get you. They're the hunter. There's a hunter there. It could be you hunting, could be they hunting. So there's news. There's news to be found. So I'm trying to see how you're going to meet this person. I think the way you're going to meet this person is by taking a chance on something, taking a bit of a gamble, and the reward is love. There's something new. It's a baby carriage, which can mean baby, so be aware of that for those of you that's possible. But I think it's also something new's being born. You don't have all the information yet. This is something. Squirrels bury their nuts for the winter. You know, it's about storage. So this is something from, almost like from the past, that you've, you know, forgotten about, but it's going to come back from the past to get you. It's like you did a favour for somebody a long time ago, and they're going to come back and say, oh, do you remember when you did that favour for me? Well, what about coming to this party, or coming to help me celebrate this, or whatever? And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, that would be great for me to go. And you'll meet this person because of something you did in the past. It could be in the summer, because it's the sun, like Leo season. Is that August? I'm not much of an astrologer. We've got two suns, definitely. I'm thinking summer, especially because this is, although it's a timeless reading, it's time specific in that it's about post-lockdown. So it could be in the summer for you, in the summer months, when this all really is the opportunity to meet this person. I think you're going to have to, it's somebody somewhere at a distance from you, because we've got the rider and we've got the shoe. The shoe is like walking, just walking, wearing someone else's shoes and walking. And it could be to do with work, because we've got the fox and the squirrel, which they're industrious little creatures. If they don't work, they don't survive. They've got to prepare for the future. There's this feeling of purity. Lily for me is purity, sensuality. I'm really not getting a feel of where you could meet them. I'm just getting a feeling that it's a distance from you, which I did sort of get another one. But I get this feeling this is you chasing after something, you're taking a gamble on something. So maybe it's something in the past that you've done, but now you're being offered the opportunity to do a gamble. Let's see if I can get... Okay. This is about meeting them. So we've got the ship. So I get this feeling. Animals. Maybe it's a zoo. Maybe it's something to do with wildlife, or wildlife. Like a park or something. Somewhere where there's water. I think it's somewhere you're travelling at a distance. It could be to do with your business, work. Powerful. Do you know what? I'm thinking it's saying that's what we just don't know. I think the answers don't know. All I can tell you is when, which is the summer. But I think, because you've got the lock and the key, the solution's there. The solution's there. So for some of you, you know already maybe where you're going to meet this person. If you're actually managing to get away on holiday in the summer, you could meet them on holiday. But there's a sense of mystery here about this, because it's the mermaid, and no matter which way you turn it, you only see the back of her. So there's something here that you're just not telling. It's my sort of charm for not telling. So I think I can't tell you how you're going to meet them. Isn't that annoying? Maybe you could try a different pick a card video to find that out. But there's a lot of love here. And for those of you in a relationship, what else you need to know is that the success is there. The success is there. But I think it's telling you need to get out. And you need to sort of, you know, go on the hunt, on the prowl, be brave. And this is about being powerful, the bear. About bear's roar. That's it. You have a look, see what stands out for you. But if you want a private reading with me on your love life or anything else, have a look in the description box for the packages that I offer. Then send me an email at oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. I will get right back to you. I look forward to hearing from you. But otherwise, please take very good care of yourself. Thank you for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay then, last but not least, number 4's the road people. What's your love life going to be in lockdown? So what I've done is I've shuffled out 2 romance angel cards and 1 angel answers card, and based upon what's on here I will then shuffle out other cards and do charms. So let's see. Very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Then communicate clearly. So what we've got going on here is if you're in a relationship, you've got to stay optimistic about this relationship, and you've got to start articulating exactly what you want in this love bond, in this relationship. Now is not the time to stay silent. You must communicate clearly. You know, and you clearly have a good chance with this relationship. And if you think positive and you have faith that everything will work out well, it will. But the important thing is now you must talk about your needs, what your wants are, what's going wrong in this relationship, what you want it to be like, and communicate with your person. If you're looking for love, there's, you know, in the post-lockdown world when you're allowed to get back out, you've got a really good chance of meeting someone. And quite quickly once you get back out into the world. You know, if you've had to work from home and not been able to get out even to work, you could meet someone at work or when you're actually out and about. But the important thing is that you need to be positive. You need to be a positive person, and that will make you really attractive, and you need to have constant faith that you will meet the person that you want to be with, you know, your future spouse. And when you do meet someone, you need to be talking to them. Or if there's somebody that you've got your eye on already and you can't really talk to them at the moment because of lockdown, you need to decide if you're going to talk to them, if you're going to communicate with them, and decide quickly. And if you go forward in this communication with them with the idea that, you know, why wouldn't they want you? Why wouldn't they find you attractive? Why wouldn't they want a romance with you? That positivity is going to do you no end of good. But there's a feeling for some of you that if you know somebody already, it's telling you to communicate with them. If you haven't met them yet, then you need to communicate with them. And if you're already in a relationship with them, you need to be communicating clearly. So I think that's actually very clear message there for you. It's sort of on your doorstep. All you've got to do is have faith and have hope and talk, which is really nice, simple, clear message. So what I'm going to look at, I'm going to get some Tower of Sexual Magic, and we're going to look at what your relationship, you know, this bond is going to be like. So when you meet this person and with your person when lockdown ends. Nine of Pentacles, 5 of Chalices, 10 of Pentacles, and Ace of Wands. I got the urge to pull out a 4th card there. I've been doing 3s, but I did get the feeling there, now there's a 4th card. So what's your relationship going to be like? If you're already in a relationship, how's it going to carry on when you get back out? I think there's a lot of I think you're going to be nostalgic for the lockdown, in a nutshell. I think there's a lot of desire between the two of you to get each other alone and to have only each other and to only nourish each other. And the Five of Chalices, it's sadness, it's grief, she's got another offer here, but she's looking at the love in the water. I think the potential to go out and eat a meal and meet family and friends is so attractive, and you're really looking, enjoying it, and you're going to go out and meet people and do things. But you're also looking back to when it was just the two of you in bed and you just didn't have to worry about anything other than each other. It's like a honeymoon period for you. And I think that your desire for each other and your connection with each other and your appreciation of each other is going to carry on past this lockdown period. I think this is because I think you're going to communicate with each other. I think you're both going to understand what it is that you each desire in each other and in the relationship. And it's going to allow you to be abundant, to nourish each other and to feed each other, and about I think you're going to love yourselves just as much as each other. I think this is what it's taught you, is that you are lovable and that you can look in the mirror and be pleased with who you are just as much as looking at them and desiring who they are. And the Ace of Wands, which was the one that really wanted to come out, it's actually union. It's about being much more as a couple than you are apart. And she's actually pregnant there. She just got a bit of a bulb, like mid-pregnancy, and he's obviously devoted to her, watching her while she sleeps, carrying their child. For some of you, this is the potential to be the beginning of a family. But I think more importantly is that this lockdown has caused you to be a real couple. And I think if you want commitment and a marriage, this is the time where you can do it in this post-lockdown era, the love after lockdown, is that you can realise that you really want to be with each other and that you can be with each other and the relationship can stand it. And even if you don't go on to have kids, because you might not want to or be able to, you're going to be able to create a life for yourself where there's you, your person, and your relationship. That's the third thing. You're better together. You're more together. You're different and more together than you are apart, and you'd rather be together. So I think that this is the deepening of your relationship. Whatever level it is, it's only deepened your love for each other and your commitment and intimacy with each other. Now, if you're completely single and you're looking to meet someone, this relationship that you're going to have, I think, again, there's this feeling of infatuation, that there's this, it's dominion. He wants to possess her. He's got her completely under his thrall, and he's cutting her hair, so he's always got a piece of her. He's always got a piece of her hair, a lock of her hair with him all times as a love token. I think in this relationship there might be some hang up from the past. There might be an old relationship where one or other of you haven't really gotten over that past person yet. Maybe it was a brilliant, perfect relationship, but it just ended sadly, even though you didn't want it to, and it broke your heart, and you're always thinking back, oh, this is just too good, these feelings can't be trusted. So even though there's a new offering of love for you, you're looking back and thinking, well, I believed this before, but then it blew up in my face. Or it was you sadly lost them, and you're just like, no love could be as perfect as that love that I had. Or even that it was a stinker of a relationship that really left its scars on you. They dug their claws in, gouged out their pound of flesh, and they've just left, with a big scar. And you're looking, saying, for the same reason, is I can't trust this because it's too good to be true. But you've got to stay optimistic, and you've got to communicate actually with this person your fears. because I think they're going to allow you, and you are going to allow them to rebuild self-confidence. I think that you go, because they find you so beautiful and you find them so beautiful, that you both realise your own attractiveness, and you know, this is a relationship where you will be permitted to love yourself deeply as well as love them deeply. And again, it's coming back to this could be a relationship where you feel better together than separated. This could really be a good solid relationship for you, one that could lead to a possible pregnancy, or at least a very abundant future. But it's absolutely union. This relationship could lead to a union. So if you're really looking to settle down and get married, if that's very much what you want, then that is entirely possible. Very entirely possible. And I think that's why that's why that fourth card wanted to come out, is that it's saying this union's entirely possible, and it's going to be a very gratifying union that really leads somewhere and offers you something wonderful. Because to me, that they look like the same couple. So it goes from infatuation to a deep love bond. Well, most love affairs, crushes are infatuation, aren't they? Where you're just slightly infatuated to very nearly infatuated, where you really, really love this person. And you just want to be with them all the time, and you can't, you know, keep your mind or your hands off them. But then those feelings fade and deepen and adapt and change as the relationship changes and as you change and mature. You know, there are phases to a relationship, and these four cards show to me a very clear deepening and changing of a relationship in what I would say is quite a healthy direction. So I want to look up, for those that are single, who they could meet. Who's this potential person? If you don't know them already, who are they? Seven of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and the Hanged Man. I don't know why that was upside down. I don't do reversals. I must have had a few fall out and I didn't put them back in properly. So, who are they? What are they like? They're definitely somebody that sees the value in investment and then waiting for the reward. So, they're somebody that can put the hard work in and then see the rewards grow in front of them. They know their own value. They know that the work that they put in should be rewarded. They're very smart because of the Knight of Swords, and they're a quick thinker, quick talk. You know, they're quite quick-witted. So therefore, some, you know, quite quick-witted people can be quite funny. So they might be quite funny, even though it's a sword, and you don't normally associate that with humour. They are absolutely somebody that's sharp and has a sharp intellect. It's not completely refined yet, so there's still quite a few raw edges, or maybe they do that on purpose. They don't allow their intellect to get truly honed to the King of Swords level. But they certainly are a smarty pants who has a wide range of knowledge, I would say, and can take action on their knowledge and their desires, in the sense of they can take action on their thoughts, and they can communicate, actually, which is interesting. They're a good communicator, and you're being told to communicate clearly. So don't be afraid of communicating if this resonates as your actual person, but this is a new person. Don't be afraid to communicate with them, because they're a good talker. And they're certainly patient, because we've got the Hanged Man and a card that also represents patience. So they actually are a very patient person. The Hanged Man is somebody that has a sense, they have an ability to sacrifice, in the sense that they understand the wisdom that sometimes you're out of control and you just have to hang off the branch and try and understand the situation and go through the process until you can come down and take action. They're very family orientated as well, because one of the things, sacrifice for the family, is a meaning associated occasionally with the Hanged Man. But this speaks to me of somebody that, or maybe they at the moment going through a period of suspension, in that they can't act and can't take action or do anything, and they're not letting it frustrate them. Because that's sort of a contradictory energy in that they like to take action and do stuff, but they understand when they can't, they just let it go. I'm like, okay, I can't do anything during lockdown. I've just got to wait for things to change so that then I can take action. They're definitely somebody that can work on invest. They can invest in things and then harvest it. It's about harvesting. They can harvest what they've invested. They're an original thinker. Definitely. Because the Hanged Man is about thinking differently, about being forced to think differently. So they could have quite an original mind, or could have different views to you, or views unique to them, or views that you haven't heard before, or experiences that are quite unusual. So let's move on to the charms to see how you could meet this person, or maybe any other information for those of you in a relationship still. So you might need to go somewhere you've not been before. You might need to travel to meet this person. Got the two suns again now. I had those before. So I'm thinking in the summer is perhaps when you might meet them. Dreaming of the sea and a turtle. So it might be close to water. I got that before in another reading. But I'm feeling slow energy because we've got the elephant, which is a slow mover, and the turtle, which is slow movement. Male. So it might be something to do with male friends. Or doing something that you perceive as particularly masculine. You might be out in nature. With the cards, for me, that's taking a gamble. So you might be offered the opportunity to go somewhere new that you haven't been before, or with people you haven't been before, and you'll meet them through this. Because you think, I'll take a chance on it. Might pull out another couple of charms. We've got the key, which is the solution. We've got the tree, which is growth. Slow moving energy in the gear means that it's still going around, it's still action to be taken, the movement's still happening. And I think this has been a bit of a common theme through all of the readings, and I think that's because we really don't know what's going to be happening with lockdown. So it could be that if lockdown doesn't happen very soon for you, and this happens later, that the reading could change because the energies have time to change. But the summer is a time when you could potentially really meet this person. And there's still an element of mystery because that's the mermaid. No matter which way you turn it, you only ever see her back. So there's mystery there. But the cat and the princess, you know, cats are spoilt, and this cat's pointing to its mouth. It's saying, I want food, feed me. So it's about, there's a sense of spoiledness here. So maybe you're being spoilt, or you're going somewhere where you know there's a luxurious feel to it. Maybe it's a holiday at the seaside or something, if that's possible. But I feel that you're, this is actually the crossroads. They're the same thing. It's from a charm set I bought a while ago where it was about Lenormand. Is that there's options, there's choices, it's travel, it's movement towards where you've got to go. So again, I'm getting this feeling of travel for some of you. There's nothing here representing home. I think everybody's going to be that desperate to get out of the house when this is all over that everybody's going to be meeting potentially somebody new when they can get out and travel. And again, we've just got this sea theme. So for those of you that are in a relationship, there's still work to be done on this relationship, and going out to this, travelling towards water, or just getting out and doing something that's fun is going to be beneficial to you, because the fox for me also means travel as well as work. It's movement again. And I think you've got to be strong. For all of you, you've got to be strong, because I think there's change happening around you. But you've got a very nourishing relationship, and it's worth making the effort to get it. But what I'm seeing here, particularly with the charms, is you can't find what you're looking for where you are. But the solution's there. And again, there's this... The other charms that match this aren't here, so not all the information's here. There's something that still needs to be achieved. And I suspect it's being told that we can all go out and not be locked down anymore. Yeah. You're going to meet them somewhere to do with the sea, to do with being spoilt, so maybe a nice, lovely holiday or something that you really enjoy doing. It could be to do with water. Could be something where lots of men go. And it's highly likely to be in the summer. Because again, I've got the two suns, which I got on another reading. But I'm just getting a repeating theme of waiting for things to happen. So I'm going to have to finish off there. I hope that's helped you. I hope you've enjoyed the reading. If you want a private reading with me, you can get one. Just check the description box. I've got all of the packages that I offer there in the description box, and then just send me an email at oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. I will look forward to hearing from you, and you take very good care of yourself. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye.